When you read, how do you deal with words you don't know without interrupting your reading? You know, when you're reading something because you want to learn the information, but you keep running into words you don't know. Do you look the words up? Then you go back to the text and realize you forgot where you were. You must reread the whole paragraph. Stopping to look words up disrupts your reading. It just doesn't work too well. Calm down. There's a solution for that. Hi, Mark here. Welcome to Snap Language. In a previous video, we saw that the language has so many words, you'll very likely run into words you don't know. Well, the next time you're reading to learn content, don't let these unknown words get in the way and slow you down. Instead, don't stop reading. Simply try to figure out the meaning of the word. Take just a few seconds to find clues that are right there in the text, though we sometimes just miss them. These are called context clues. See if the author provided synonyms or antonyms or maybe a definition or an explanation of the word. Try to guess the meaning of the word using the general sense of the paragraph or things you already know about the topic. First, let's see how sometimes the author gives you a synonym to help you understand a word or expression. Let's say you read a sentence like this. In his speech, the president tried to assuage people's concerns about the economy. Indeed, his excellent speech put everyone more at ease. What on earth does assuage mean? Wait, before reaching for a dictionary, examine the context. You can see that the author compares two similar ideas, that the president tried to assuage people's concerns and that indeed he or she was successful at doing just that and did put people more at ease. So by restating the ideas, the author practically gave you a synonym for assuage. To assuage a concern is to make it less of a concern. It means to make something less severe or serious. Now that the sentence makes sense, you can keep on reading. You can always underline or highlight the word and look it up, study it, add it to your word list, but only after you have read and understood the passage. Sometimes the opposite or an antonym is what you find in the text. Let's look at this example and see if you can figure out the meaning of the word equanimity. Whenever his second wife's emotional instability surfaced, John found himself missing the equanimity in his first marriage. The author pretty much tells us what equanimity means by contrasting it to what it is not. When John's second wife has moments of emotional instability, he misses the equanimity or emotional stability in his first marriage. John misses something he used to have but doesn't have anymore. So from the context, you get that equanimity is contrasted with or an antonym for emotional instability, so it means emotional stability, composure, or calmness. Now let's look at this example using the word quidnunc. Maybe you already know the word. If not, pause the video. See if you can guess the meaning of quidnunc using the context clues. Then start the video again and check the answer. Tabloids, which mostly sensationalize the news or even make news up, make their money on quidnuncs ready to be in everyone's business. Pause the video now and use the context clues to try to figure out the meaning of quidnuncs. So, did you figure it out? I hope you didn't use a dictionary because you didn't really have to. Let's see. From the context, you see that the author explained that a tabloid is a type of publication that sells gossip or even made-up news. Now, quidnuncs is a funny little word you probably had to think a little bit about. From the context, you see that quidnuncs are people who are interested in tabloids, so a quidnunc is a person who's eager to know the news and gossip. A quidnunc is essentially a gossip or a busybody. And that's it. If you pay attention to what's around the text or the context, you'll see that many times the information you need to figure out the meaning of a word is right there. This way you can focus on reading and understanding what you're reading without having to stop and look up words all the time. And it takes just a few seconds to do that. The writer may have restated the idea to give you a synonym. Sometimes the author gives you an antonym or explains what something is not or contrasts ideas with opposite meanings. Next, we'll see how you can also infer the meaning of a word from the general sense of the sentence, the paragraph, or even the passage. For now, start thinking about what you do when you find a word you don't know while you're reading. Have you noticed these context clues before? Do you look for them when you're reading? Snap Language is meant to be a community of learners supporting each other, so share your experiences with us. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Snap Language YouTube channel. Until the next one, thanks for stopping by and watching this video.